Hey, Dr. John Finn here. Welcome to the Habit Mechanic podcast. Right now, you can get my new best-selling book, Train Your Brain for the AI Revolution, at tougherminds.co.uk. The digital book, audiobook, and physical book are all available at a special price that you won't find anywhere else. Hello, Habit Mechanics. It's Dr. John Finn here. Happy April. It's a fantastic time at the start of any month to reset our goals. Goals and motivation go hand in hand. But unfortunately, it's really easy to set unhelpful goals that can do more damage than good. So over the years, I've created a very powerful, what I would call intelligent goal setting tool. It's called the FAM Story Iceberg. FAM stands for Future, Ambitious, Meaningful Story. It's a tool designed to help you to write a positive story about your future self. And it allows you to connect your long-term goals, the things that you want to have and to be able to do in the distant future, and at the end of or the top of the iceberg in our metaphor, the apex is typically being healthy and happier. I don't know anyone who doesn't want to be healthy and happy in the distant future, but it allows you to connect those things that you want to have and achieve in the distant future with the next 1 to 4 years, and then the next 12 months, and this month, and this week, and then today, which is ultimately the bottom. Today is driven by habit. So I've created that tool for you, and I'm going to give you access in this podcast. I'm going to play it for you. I'm going to play chapter 16 of the Habit Mechanic audiobook, which is called Boost Your Motivation and Personal Drive with one simple tool. Chapter 16 talks you through how to use the FAM Story Iceberg step by step in simple and practical, tried and tested steps. So if you want to improve your motivation, if you want to start building better habits, if you want to start being healthier and happier and at your best more often, keep listening to this chapter. Do the exercises. Start writing some things down. This can maybe feel daunting to do this, but trust me, it's worth it. And if you don't know where to start, as I will say in the chapter, start with a fail story. Write a story about what you don't want your future to look like. It's also worth pointing out that in the Habit Mechanic book, there's a similar tool that you can use for your business. I share this in chapter 32, which is the part of the leadership section in the book. Chapter 32 is the cultural architect section, and I show a strategic planning model, which is similar to the FAM story. So just in case you're interested in doing something similar for your business, I use the FAM story tool once a month, every other month, sometimes once every quarter. Just depends what's going on in my life, and I do the same with the business tool for the business as well. Remember, so I'm going to share chapter 16 of the audiobook with you right now, but remember, in the Habit Mechanic University app, you can listen to the entire audiobook for free. That will be available forever. But you can, right now, if you go into Habit Mechanic University app, you can listen to the entire audiobook for free. You can get the app from the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. So it's available on both iOS and Android. So that's enough from me for the moment. Keep listening, and you're going to hear how you can use the FAM Story tool to create your iceberg and supercharge your motivation, making it easier to be your best every single day. Chapter 16. Boost your motivation and personal drive with one simple tool. In the build-up to golf's 2015 Masters, sportswear giant Nike released a TV commercial featuring professional golf greats Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy. The ad focused on the development of McIlroy from an enthusiastic youngster to a successful professional golfer. It highlights how, as McIlroy grew up, Tiger Woods was a constant influence and inspiration. A 9-year-old McIlroy even wrote to Woods to tell him a young golfer from Northern Ireland was coming after him. McIlroy's motivation to become a world champion golfer played a huge role in helping him become one of the best golfers on the planet.
The good news is that we can all learn how to use motivation to achieve our goals. What is motivation? If you want to become a habit mechanic so you can build new helpful habits, being motivated is crucial. We define motivation as the direction and intensity of effort. This makes goal setting essential for motivation. When we set a goal, we can direct and focus our efforts and energies on achieving it. Imagine throwing a dart at a target. The target is your goal, and the dart represents your effort. How important the goal is will inform how much effort you put into throwing the dart. Creating goals makes it easier to focus your effort and energy in the right direction. Completing the 8-brain test may have highlighted a specific area you want to change, for example, improve sleep, or stress management, or productivity. But once you have targeted a specific area, you may ask yourself, can I really improve in this area? The answer is yes, you can. Learning is your superpower. You can learn to improve any area of your life. I discuss the reasons for this in Chapter 5 and will go into even more detail in Chapter 26. Then you may ask yourself, is improving in this area worth the effort? To help you answer this question, I want to introduce a useful story about a successful individual. What can we learn from J.K. Rowling? During an in-depth Oprah Winfrey interview, Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling explained how she had a long-term ambition to become a published author. She explained how she struggled early on, but she persisted and eventually found the inspiration for the story of the young wizard. Yet this was not enough. She had to keep persisting because Harry Potter was turned down by 12 publishers before she finally got a book deal. This is amazing when we consider that the Harry Potter series became the biggest selling children's books of all time and one of the highest grossing movie franchises. J.K. Rowling's story highlights a critical aspect of motivation. Goals that are deeply meaningful are very powerful in helping us persist and achieve. Research shows that, as detailed in Jim Collins and Jerry Porras's book, Built to Last, Successful Habits of Visionary Companies, when they began doing business, some of the world's most successful companies had what the researchers termed big, hairy, audacious goals, or BHAGs. Clear, long-term, and ambitious goals. If we don't have a clear vision of what we want to achieve, it is difficult to persist and work to our potential each day. There are many examples of successful people using BHAGs for motivation. A common theme among all these individuals is that they have not let others dictate or control their destiny. Instead, they have been proactive and controlled the controllable factors in their lives. Henry Ford, the founder of Ford Motor Company, wanted to make cars affordable for everyone, not just rich people. As a child, Rory McIlroy set himself the future target of becoming a professional golfer and winning every major championship. 10 years before he did it, entrepreneur Elon Musk published a blueprint of how he would build electric sports cars and the infrastructure to charge them with clean electricity. Tennis stars Venus and Serena Williams didn't just stumble into becoming two of the greatest players of all time, they had a clear vision in place from a young age. However, knowing the importance of a clear vision for the future is one thing, achieving it is another. The problem is that Hugh is only interested in the next 10 minutes of our time, and not what will happen at the end of the year or in 10 years. To make it easier to set and connect short, medium, and long-term goals, I have developed a special goal-setting system called FAM, Future Ambitious Meaningful Story. FAM Story. It is designed to give you more control over your motivation. The power of stories. American author and scholar Jonathan Gottschall calls humans the storytelling animal. He believes we are conditioned to tell stories. From a neurobiological perspective, we understand that stories are so central to individuals and societies because they are easy for our brains to remember. We have powerful autobiographical memory centres in our brains. Our brains really like structuring knowledge and memories as stories, with a beginning, a middle, and an end. Will an average person be more likely to remember a list of facts or an interesting story that incorporates those facts? Most find it much easier to remember the latter. This is why people studying for tests are encouraged to create memory palaces and mnemonics, stories about words. Habit mechanics create positive stories about their future lives because stories are powerful in helping us create change and achieve our goals. FAM story basics. When we see someone successful, we often only notice what they are good at, and not the years of practice and effort that went into developing their excellence. If we think of their lives like an iceberg, we only see the ice on the surface, not the larger chunks of ice below the waterline. To get more control over your own story, your future, I will show you how to create your own FAM story iceberg. The FAM story iceberg helps you understand and better control the impact your daily habits have on your health, happiness, and performance in the future. To build your own FAM story iceberg, you need to think about what you want to achieve and where you would like to be in the long-term future, say 10 years. This is the top of the iceberg, the distant future. If this sounds daunting, don't worry. I will help you generate some ideas. Then think about what you need to do in the next 1 to 4 years to achieve those big, long-term goals. This is just above the waterline. Then think about what you need to achieve in the next 12 months. This is just below the waterline. Then think about what you need to achieve this month. Then think about what you need to achieve this week. Then think about what you need to do today. This is the bottom of the iceberg. I will give you detailed guidance on how to create your FAM story iceberg later. You can redraft this as many times as you like. The benefits of FAM stories. 1. Create a wave of motivation. FAM stories create what I call a wave of motivation. This helps direct our efforts and energies. This also helps us focus by developing an understanding of exactly what we need to accomplish in the short term to achieve our long-term objectives. 2. Track your progress. Setting structured goals allows us to track our progress. This makes it easier to strike the important balance between hedonism, pleasure, and eudaimonia, habit mechanic development. World-leading creativity expert and Harvard psychologist Professor Teresa Amabile coined the term the progress principle, also the title of a book. She highlighted how people feel better if their daily activity helps them make progress towards a meaningful goal. She showed how small wins or pieces of progress make it easier to keep persisting in the face of challenges. According to some researchers, the single biggest cause of work burnout is not overload, but working for too long without experiencing personal progress. When we do not feel like our efforts are being rewarded with progress, we can feel stifled and overwhelmed. In contrast, feeling that we are making progress in our lives can make us feel happier, more fulfilled, and more motivated. 3. Manage stress. Setting and monitoring goals also makes it easier to reset and recalibrate when we falter. When set correctly, goals are excellent stress management tools. If goals are too challenging or too easy, you can adjust them accordingly, because they are not set in stone. 4. Prophesize your future. Goals create self-fulfilling prophecies. Walt Disney famously said, "If you can dream it, you can do it." Work by Columbia University professor Robert Merton also showed that if you believe that you can achieve something, you have a better chance of success. Merton's self-fulfilling prophecy theory has had far-reaching implications for how we understand human behaviour. Fam story power. There is a useful case study from the world of golf that can help us understand the power of fam stories even more. In 2018, Georgia Hall became only the third British winner of the Women's British Open since the event became a major. After the event, Hall revealed part of her fam story. She said, "It was my goal when I was 9 to win the British Open. I am so happy." Comments from Wayne Hall, Georgia's father and caddy, underlined this. He said, "We've been dreaming about this since she was 7 years old, practicing and knocking in putts for the British Open. Now it's actually happened." Georgia Hall fulfilled her own prophecy by winning the Open. Her father also explained how his daughter progressed through her fam story. She had a 36 handicap at 9. At 10 years old, she progressed to a 10 handicap, then set a course record when she was 11 that still stands now. Then she was selected for the England squads and just improved from there. Wayne Hall also revealed that his daughter's goal had been to win the Open the previous season in 2017, but her failure was not fatal to her career. Instead, she reset and tried again. He explained, "This is the biggest tournament for her and for us, and we really went for it after last year when we finished third." This emphasises that goals are not set in stone, and how having them allows us to pivot if things do not go to plan. Georgia's experience shows us that our goals do not have to be completely rigid. Simply creating them appears to be far more beneficial than not. Test. If it is helpful, write down what FAM stands for to see how good your memory is. Developing your FAM story. To get you thinking about your future, write down answers to these questions. Question 1. Who inspires you? Be specific and name names. Some ideas, in no particular order, to spark your thoughts. Parents, siblings, grandparents, family, colleagues, people who have changed society, scientists, Nobel Prize winners, entrepreneurs, mentors, writers, sporting champions, political leaders, high achievers, musicians. Question 2. Why do they inspire you? Be specific. Identify their shared and individual qualities. Some ideas, in no particular order, to spark your thoughts. Dedication, persistence, self-sacrifice, determination, desire, work ethic, success, tolerance, progress, excellence, innovation, humility, dependability, resilience, attitude, guts. Question 3. Select at least 3, and no more than 8, examples of what you do to feel at your best. Some examples to get you thinking. Have fun, help others, develop myself, relax, do meaningful work, show humility, give my best, have a good work-life balance, achieve results, be dedicated, be determined, persist with difficult challenges, be resilient, show the right attitude, make personal progress, be diligent, be dependable, be tolerant, eat well, sleep well, show self-control. Write down other areas if they are not on the list. Question 4. Why is it important for you to do these things, and what outcomes do they help you achieve? Question 5. Write down or select at least 3 and no more than 8 of your top strengths. Some ideas in no particular order to spark your thoughts. Achievements, dedication, desire, persistence, self-sacrifice, positive attitude, calm, work ethic, reflective, success, humility, tolerance, diligence, dependability, excellence, attitude, innovative. Write down other areas if they are not on the list. Question 6. Write down the most important and difficult things you have achieved in your life so far or in the past 12 months. Question 7. Briefly explain how you managed to be persistent to secure this achievement. Creating your FAM story with the FAM form. I have created a habit mechanic tool I call the FAM form. It helps you create your own FAM story iceberg and make the connection between the tip of the iceberg, your long-term future goals, and the bottom of the iceberg, the here and now, and the small steps you will take to begin working towards your major goals. Broadly, it makes you think about the future and present in the following terms. What do I want to achieve in the distant future? What do I need to do in the next 1 to 4 years to achieve my distant future goals? To achieve the above, what do I need to achieve in the next 12 months? To achieve the above, what do I need to achieve next month? To achieve the above, what do I need to achieve this week? To achieve the above, how do I begin today? Sometimes we might feel reluctant to commit to achieving a major long-term objective. But the beauty of the FAM story is that it allows us to be flexible. We can decide to pivot and change our goals. They are not set in stone. I encourage everyone who wants to be their best to periodically think about their own long-term goals. I step back to reflect and use the FAM form to update my FAM story every 4 to 8 weeks. My FAM story goals change because my life circumstances change. Sometimes the changes to my goals are tiny, and sometimes they are big. But what is most important is that I am engaging in a purposeful reflection and planning process. This helps me learn about myself and how to be at my best. This is what habit mechanics do. Learning from Bill Gates. Microsoft founder and billionaire philanthropist Bill Gates provides us with another useful example of the value of creating long-term goals. In Decoding Bill Gates, the Netflix docuseries about his life, Gates says that in his younger years, he and his best friend, Kent, constantly looked ahead to their futures to develop a vision of what they wanted to achieve. We were always scheming about what we'd be doing in the next 5 years, Gates said. Kent had an interest in business, and so he got me reading Fortune magazine. Gates added that he and his friend discussed different career paths and what types of remuneration were available in each profession and what type of impact on the world different people in various jobs could make. He also said they both believed they would achieve great things in the future. Completing the FAM form. So, just like young Bill Gates and his friend, you can use the questions on the FAM form to begin brainstorming ideas about your future. You can begin creating your own future, ambitious and meaningful story. See figure 16.3 in the accompanying PDF for an example of a filled-in FAM story iceberg. But remember, your FAM story is never complete because your life constantly changes, so you need to keep updating it. I do this every 4 to 8 weeks. FAM form questions to help you create your own FAM story. Remember, the answers you give and the goals you set are not set in stone. They are flexible and can be changed at any time to make them more helpful for you. Question 1. What would you like to do and have in the distant to medium future? For example, 10 years or more. Some words to get you thinking about your future goals. Location, family, possessions, friends and relationships, health, home, money, roles and responsibilities, job. If it is helpful, write down some of the things you would like to do and have in the distant to medium future. For example, be healthy and happy. Tip: if you are not sure, start by thinking about what you do not want your future to look like. Developing your long-term goals will take time. The aim of this exercise is not to create perfect goals, but to get you thinking and started on your journey to having a clearer understanding about what you want your future self and life to look like. Remember, whatever you write down can be changed. Should you set goals that might feel unrealistic? I do, because I have found that even if I do not achieve these goals, having a high level of expectation is helpful. It means I achieve a higher level of happiness and performance than I would have if I'd set myself less ambitious goals. This is something I have learned through practice. Should you copy my approach? No. You need to develop an approach that works best for you. You will only work out the best way to set the type of goals that work best for you by trying things out. Goals are powerful tools, but it can take a lot of trial and error to learn how to use them effectively. Why times 5? To make your long-term goals more meaningful and powerful, try to understand why you want to achieve them. An effective way to do this is to ask yourself why 5 times. For example, if you want to get a promotion at work, you might ask yourself why. The answer might be because you want to earn more money. So you would then ask yourself, why do you want to earn more money? The answer might be because you want to move to a bigger house. Then you would ask yourself, why do you want to live in a bigger house? This answer could be, so my young children have a garden to play in. The next question you might ask yourself is, why is it important for you to have a garden your young children can play in? The answer could be, I understand the importance of outdoor play for healthy development, and I want to provide a space at home where they can do this. By the time you have asked yourself why at least 5 times, you will develop a clear understanding of the deeper reasons for your goals and ambitions. The more meaningful your reasons for wanting to achieve a goal, the more powerful they will become in helping you persist and succeed. Now let's get back to the fan form questions. Question 2. What do you need to achieve in the next 1 to 4 years to make distant, medium future goals attainable? If it is helpful, write down some notes. Question 3. What do you need to achieve in the next 12 months to make your 1 to 4 year goals attainable? If it is helpful, write down some notes. Question 4. Write down at least 3 things and no more than 5 that you need to prioritize to help you feel good about yourself this month. Think about these as your priorities for the month. It might also be helpful to write why you want to achieve these priorities. Question 5. Write down at least 3 things and no more than 5 that you need to prioritize this week to help you achieve your goals this month. Think about these as your priorities for the week. It might also be helpful to write why you want to achieve these priorities. When you start to consider the bottom of your FAM story iceberg, you need to use the insights you have gained about yourself from the Ape Brain Test, Chapter 12. This will help you begin understanding your current habits and the ones that it might be helpful to change as you embark on your journey to becoming a habit mechanic. I will show you how to do an in-depth habit analysis in Chapter 17. Question 6. Write down at least 3 things and no more than 5 that you need to do today to help you achieve your goals this week. Think about these as your priorities for today. For example, eat an extra piece of fruit, go for a 5-minute walk at lunchtime, turn my phone and emails off when I am doing work that requires my full concentration. Using other habit mechanic tools like the Daily Tea Plan and 3-to-1 Daily Reflection will help you achieve these goals. Firing up your motivation. You now have the outline of a story about what you want your future to look like. To help you keep building and refining this story, I have created a list of quick questions and reminders below. 1. Make your goals more meaningful by asking yourself why 5 times. 2. On a scale of 1 to 10, how well are you doing your best to be your best and achieve your weekly goals. 3. Remind yourself it is possible to make changes because you are a combination of nature plus nurture. 4. Update your FAM story, for example, every 4 to 8 weeks. 5. Can you connect your short-term goals and daily habits to your future goals? 6. Write a fail story. That is, what don't you want your future to look like? 7. Reflect on your fail story and use it as a mirror to help you develop and refine your FAM story. Habit Mechanic planning tool you have learned in Chapter 16. FAM, Future, Ambitious, Meaningful Story. A tool to help you create, connect, and periodically review and update your long, medium, and short-term goals. Please refer to Figure 16.4 in the accompanying PDF to see how your Habit Mechanic Intelligence Igloo is building up. Next, I'll help you identify the most significant challenges your 8 brain poses by taking a closer look at how habits work and introducing our trait habit loop. So that's the FAM story tool that you can use to create intelligent goals about the distant future, the medium-term future, and today. Remember, we don't do what we know we should do. We do what we're in the habit of doing. So get going, put it into practice. Put a note in your diary for a month's time so you revisit it. This is an evergreen tool that you can use again and again and again. And right at the bottom of the iceberg, where you focus on building your habits today, one of my super habits, one of the things I always do is I create a daily tea plan. I do that in the app. You can see in the Habit Mechanic University app, you can see my daily tea plan. I also create an end of day reflection, a 3-to-1 reflection in the app as well, and I do a longer form reflection, a written one at my desk at home. So it's one thing knowing these things, it's another thing entirely doing them. All the 30 plus Habit Mechanic tools are either daily, weekly, or monthly, bi-monthly type tools. And if you go to chapter 36 in the Habit Mechanic book, I list all the tools and whether they're weekly, daily, weekly, monthly, etc. So it's not about what you know, it's about what you do. So this is a fantastic tool. Put it into practice. Remember, you can listen to the entire audiobook in the Habit Mechanic University app, absolutely free for the time being. It won't be forever, but if you want to listen to it all, take a deep dive. Certainly now, any book that I'm consuming, I'm reading and listening. I walk and I listen, and then I'll come back and look at the physical book and take some notes. So that's how I'm finding it best for my own learning. Next week, we're going to talk about Chapter 6 and Chapter 7, take a deep dive into those chapters. I'll be joined by my colleague Andrew Whitelam. If you like the podcast, subscribe. If you've read the book and you like it, please leave a review. That's going to help other people to benefit from this powerful, life-changing toolkit. If you like the app and you're in the app, please leave a review as well. That's all really helpful in telling other people that this is helpful. We live in a really challenging world and people are looking for tools to allow them to do better. We know that most tools out there are outdated and ineffective. So if you found this helpful for you, tell other people about it. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of April. And remember, it's one thing knowing what to do, it's another thing doing it. Habits can be complex to build, but keep persisting because you're only ever one habit away. Thanks for listening to the Habit Mechanic podcast. If you liked it, please subscribe and tell someone else about one of the ideas or insights that you found most interesting.